How you guys doing? This is Jason with Tuna Tech, and as you can see here, I am a Pixel super fan. Hashtag it. You can hashtag Team Pixel, whatever you want to say. But today is the day we've all been waiting for. All right. So Google unleashed a world of domination on AI with Gemini, and it seems like they kind of just made some software to fit in some hardware. So what are we talking about? Well, they released the Pixel 9 Pro, Pro XL, and the 9 Pro XL Fold, whatever they call it. But today, I've got two here we're gonna unbox. We got the Pixel 9 in its beautiful pink color, and an Obsidian Pro XL. So while we open, just to see what is so great about these two devices. Well, the Pro XL starts at $1099, but it does come with 16 gigs of storage, as do all Pro models. This has the Tensor G4 with the Titan M2 security chip. It's got a 6.8-inch display. It's a Super Actua display, so it should be pretty bright. It does do 120 hertz, and it's covered by Gorilla Glass Victus 2, so that's good. Interestingly enough, this packaging, you guys, is like a sleeve, but it looks like, even looking at the packaging, it looks like it's a recyclable box. They didn't talk about renewable stuff that much to live stream it from what I remember. But like I said, these come in 16 gigs of RAM for the Pro models, and it can get 128, 256, or 512. And at 120 gigabyte, 1099 is a little steep. I would have rather had it start at 256. Either way, battery capacity is 5060. Has fast charging, you can go up to 70% in 30 minutes, and it does support wireless charging. For the camera system, it's got a triple camera setup. It's got a main 50 megapixel camera, a 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 48 megapixel 5x optical zoom, and a 42 megapixel front. It's IP68 dust and water resistant. It's got an in-display ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, stereo speakers, and obviously Gemini and Google Assistant. Interestingly enough, the main camera on this is a 50 megapixel, and the ultra wide is a 48 megapixel. These two cameras, while they are slightly different, obviously in size and price, they do have the same exact main and ultra wide, which is nice. So for those of you who want a little more optical zoom, obviously the Pro will have your butt covered there with the little bit more of an optical zoom than the standard 9 will have. Now the 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL are identical except for in size, so that's a plus. Now we can actually have our cake and eat it too. So if you're a big fan of a smaller phone, you can get one. Now this is the 9. This is the 9 Pro, so you only have 2 cameras in the back as opposed to 3 on the XL. Now this starts at $1099. The 9 starts at $799. What's interesting about this is it's a decent price. It's got a 6.3-inch actual display, Tensor G4, Titan M2, only 12 gigabytes of RAM, starts at 128 and 256, 4,700 milliamp hour battery. Like I said, a 50 megapixel main and 48 megapixel ultra wide, but only a 10.5 megapixel selfie. Interesting enough, also, they only come with Android 14 out of the box. So since they released so early, 15 is not quite ready. My big question is, with 7 years of updates on these, does that count as one? Should be able to get some clarification from Google on that. If anybody has an answer to that for me, go ahead and leave a comment, let me know. So I'm gonna pull these out of the box. So you don't get chargers, as you can see. You get charging cables, and then they both have just some paperwork in there, as you can see. And that's about it. Both boxes are pretty thin, nothing too extravagant. So let's just get this out. So again, paper coverings. They don't really have the super cool plastic peel that we're used to, and heck, you can just push this thing out anymore. So this is the 9. So as you can see, it's got a glossy back and a matte rail or matte border around it. I'm not a big fan of the pink. This pink is more for my wife. She was excited to see it. And I'll be honest, in person, the camera bar doesn't look terrible, but you got some antennas up here, a microphone, nothing on this side. You've got speaker hole, you got USB Type-C charging, and you've got your SIM card tray, and then you got your volume buttons and power button. And then, like I said, 50 megapixel and 48 megapixel cameras there with a flash. And we'll power this on and see if it's got any juice. Now these are eSIM and SIM card, which I prefer because I like to switch phones a lot. But some people don't. And like the iPhone, maybe a lot of carriers will move away from the physical SIM. Now this is the Obsidian Pixel 9 Pro XL. So you got your 42 megapixel selfie camera in the front there. You've got the antenna. You've got, again, microphone, volume and power, SIM, Type-C, speaker, and nothing on this side. The difference on this now is the back is a matte on this and the sides are shiny. I kind of rather have this kind of a shiny back with matte sides, but I mean, pick and choose what you like. So this is the Obsidian color, which is basically white. And you got your 50 megapixel, 48 megapixel, and 48 megapixel for a total of 3 cameras, 5x optical zoom. As you can see, it's a little shiny, but like I said, I think what's nice about this is that you can kind of use the camera bump as like a resting spot to hold the phone. This is quite a big phone. I'll power this one on too, see if it's got any juice. So I'll turn the screen off here if I can figure out which button it is. So as you can see, this is the 9 and this is the 9 Pro. You can see that obviously, let's turn around so you don't see too much glare. You can see that the 9 Pro XL is quite a bit bigger, but very similar in their designs. So whether you hate it or like it, this camera bump isn't that bad. It's still pixel-esque. Now, like I said, this one starts at $10.99 for 128. This one starts at $7.99 for 128. But the extra money, you get a bigger screen, you get more RAM, and you get a bigger battery, you get a better selfie camera, and you get the zoom. But besides that, power-wise, the extra RAM, I'm not sure how much more that would be. Google has said that the extra RAM was needed for the Gemini. So going back, the big selling point on these is the hardware obviously is a lot more premium than it ever has been, but the AI has been tweaked and is better. You do have Google Assistant and you also have Gemini, which is great. So I'm excited to test out the Gemini Live feature. But like I said, guys, this has been the quick unboxing of the Google Pixel 9 and the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL. Catch you next time.